Did you know that one simple food swap can boost your energy by 20? It sounds like a magic trick, but it's actually based on science. Our bodies are like cars, and the food we eat is like the fuel we put in the tank. If we put in the wrong fuel, the car won't run properly, and that's exactly what happens when we eat the wrong foods. So, what's the secret to boosting our energy? It all starts with understanding how our bodies work. When we eat, our body breaks down the food into tiny particles that can be used for energy. This process is called metabolism, and it's like a fire that burns inside us. The food we eat is the wood that fuels the fire, and the type of wood we use can make a big difference. Some foods are like dry, fluffy kindling that burns quickly and gives us a fast burst of energy. These are the simple carbohydrates, like sugar and white bread. They're easy to digest, but they don't give us long-lasting energy. On the other hand, some foods are like big, thick logs that burn slowly and give us a steady, long-lasting flame. These are the complex carbohydrates, like whole grains and vegetables. They take longer to digest, but they give us a more consistent flow of energy. So, if we want to boost our energy, we need to focus on eating more of the log-like foods and less of the kindling. One simple swap we can make is to switch from white bread to whole grain bread. White bread is like a quick fix. It gives us a fast burst of energy, but it's gone quickly. Whole grain bread, on the other hand, is like a slow burn. It gives us a steady flow of energy that lasts longer. But it's not just about the type of food we eat. It's also about how we eat it. When we eat, our body releases something called insulin, which is like a key that unlocks the door to our cells. Insulin helps our body to absorb the nutrients from the food we eat, and it's essential for giving us energy. But if we eat too much sugar or simple carbohydrates, our body can become resistant to insulin, and that's when problems start to happen. It's like the lock on the door gets rusty, and the key doesn't fit anymore. When this happens, our body can't absorb the nutrients it needs, and we start to feel tired and sluggish. So what can we do to avoid this? One thing is to eat more protein and healthy fats. Protein and healthy fats are like the oil that keeps the lock well lubricated. They help our body to absorb the nutrients it needs. They're also like the big, thick logs that burn slowly. They give us a steady flow of energy that lasts longer. Foods that are high in protein and healthy fats, like nuts and avocado, are great for keeping our energy levels up. Another thing we can do is to eat more fiber. Fiber is like the brush that cleans the lock. It helps to keep our digestive system running smoothly. Fiber is found in foods like fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, and it's essential for keeping our energy levels up. When we eat fiber-rich foods, they help to slow down the digestion of carbohydrates, and that gives us a more consistent flow of energy. It's like the fiber is helping to burn the logs more slowly, so we get a steady flame instead of a quick burst. So, if we want to boost our energy, we need to focus on eating more fiber-rich foods and less of the simple carbohydrates. But what about the foods that are specifically designed to give us energy? You know, the energy bars and energy drinks that are supposed to be like a magic pill. The truth is, most of these products are just a quick fix. They give us a fast burst of energy, but it's gone quickly. They're like the kindling that burns fast but doesn't give us long-lasting energy. And they're often filled with added sugars and artificial ingredients that can actually make us feel worse in the long run. So, what can we do instead? One thing is to drink more water. Water is like the oil that keeps our engine running smoothly. It helps our body to function properly. Even mild dehydration can cause fatigue, headaches, and difficulty concentrating. So, drinking enough water is essential for keeping our energy levels up. Another thing we can do is to get enough sleep. Sleep is like the time our body gets to rest and recharge, It's essential for giving us energy. When we don't get enough sleep, our body can't function properly and we start to feel tired and sluggish. So, how much sleep do we need? The answer is, it depends on the person. Some people need more sleep than others, but most adults need around 7-9 hours of sleep per night. And it's not just about the quantity of sleep, it's also about the quality. We need to make sure we're getting good, restful sleep, and that means creating a sleep-conducive environment. That means keeping our bedroom cool, dark and quiet, and avoiding screens before bedtime. But even with enough sleep and water, we can still feel tired and sluggish if we're not eating the right foods. So, what are the best foods for energy? One of the best foods is spinach. Spinach is like a superfood. It's packed with iron, which is essential for carrying oxygen to our cells. When we don't get enough iron, we can feel tired and sluggish, so eating spinach is a great way to boost our energy. Another great food is salmon. Salmon is like a powerhouse. It's packed with protein and healthy fats, which give us a steady flow of energy. And it's also rich in something called omega-3 fatty acids, which are essential for brain function. When we eat salmon, we're giving our brain the fuel it needs to function properly, and that helps us to stay focused and alert. So, if we want to boost our energy, we need to focus on eating more foods like spinach and salmon. We also need to make sure we're getting enough vitamins and minerals, like vitamin D and magnesium. These nutrients are like the spark plugs that help our engine run smoothly. They're essential for giving us energy. Vitamin D is especially important because it helps our body to absorb calcium, which is essential for muscle function. When we don't get enough vitamin D, we can feel tired and sluggish, so getting enough sunlight or taking a supplement is essential. Magnesium is also important because it helps our body to relax and unwind. When we don't get enough magnesium, we can feel anxious and stressed, and that can drain our energy. So, what can we do to get more magnesium and vitamin D? One thing is to eat more magnesium-rich foods like dark leafy greens and nuts. We can also take a supplement, but it's always best to get our nutrients from food first. And to get more vitamin D, we can spend more time outdoors or take a supplement. It's also important to note that some foods can actually drain our energy, like processed meats and sugary snacks. These foods are like the wrong fuel for our car. They can make us feel tired and sluggish. So, if we want to boost our energy, we need to focus on eating more whole, nutrient-dense foods and less of the processed and sugary ones. And we need to make sure we're getting enough sleep, water, and exercise. Exercise is like the spark that ignites the fire. It helps our body to function properly and gives us energy. When we exercise, we're helping our body to burn the logs more efficiently, and that gives us a steady flow of energy. So, what type of exercise is best for energy? The answer is, it depends on the person. Some people like cardio, while others prefer strength training. But the most important thing is to find an exercise that we enjoy and that makes us feel good. Exercise shouldn't be a chore. It should be something we look forward to. And we don't need to spend hours at the gym. Even a short walk or some light stretching can make a big difference. So, to sum it up, boosting our energy is all about making simple swaps in our diet and lifestyle. We need to focus on eating more whole, nutrient-dense foods and less of the processed and sugary ones. We need to make sure we're getting enough sleep, water, and exercise, and that we're taking care of our overall health. And we need to remember that everyone is different, so it's all about finding what works for us. If you want to learn more about how to boost your energy, check out our next video, where we'll be sharing more tips and tricks for increasing your energy levels and living a healthier lifestyle.